Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Bustanet. My name is Rashidi, and we're back with the Torino Diaries. We got a big match against Milan coming up. Before I go into the Milan match, I'm gonna get some tactical advice from my staff, which I hardly ever do. What I like about FM16 is that they do make some fairly decent suggestions. Of course, I'm not going to change it to 442, but like they want me to drop this guy, which makes sense because he actually isn't a first choice player. So we'll have to bring back Camel Glick because Camel Glick is the first choice. Tactical mentality. They want me to play with a defensive mentality against Milan, which makes a lot of sense because I was already thinking I'm going either counter or defensive against them. In terms of the shape, they're suggesting we play a highly structured shape. That's good logic behind that because they want people to concentrate on their individual phases of the game. They want us to play wider and stretch the play when possible. Yeah, that's true. That would be a good move against a team that is a lot more attacking because there's spaces that you can exploit. But we remember we have wide attackers here, so I don't really need to do that. They don't want us to go up the higher the pitch, which makes also a lot of sense because Milan have fast players. So you see, you can they want us to change roles and a lot of other things here if you are keen to follow these instructions, which aren't that bad. They are fairly good. They are fairly good. The advice is actually pretty good. Danielo Avila comes back. He was rested in that game. Belotti, Maxi Lopez, Quag stay there. Ghazi and Benassi. I could play Baselli and Benassi combination, which is one of my favorites. Now, against them, I will have to. I want to play a counter. Instructions will change to get stuck. I will definitely go normal and take off this shorter passing with crosses, play our defense. Yeah, they could work and run a defense. So these are so I play a counter system against an AC Milan side that is pretty strong. Oh yes. This time I'm not gonna mess the keeper. I'm letting him put up the ball if he needs to. Reporters seem to be very confident of our team. Okay, Milan are playing with a 4-3-1-2, which means they may overload the flanks. So this game I'll be looking to see how their fullbacks are really very high up the pitch when they are bringing the ball up. So there's going to be a bit of concern from my end. I'll have to be watching Milan very carefully, but they're already taking one shot at goal. I'm cautiously optimistic about this game, but it all depends on how well we defend. Avila has already picked up a yellow card, and that was fast, inside of 7 minutes. I'm gonna have to tell him to take a chill pill. He's off on tackles. He's picked up a card really early, so I want to see who's playing on the right flank. Milan formation. He's up against Abate. And Cersei is going to be deep. Okay. And if we look at the Milan stats, Abate is probably 6.90, correct. Abate has got acceleration of 17 and pace of 17. It's a very fast player. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to advanced tactics and tell Avila to play on defend. So we're gonna do that because this guy is really fast. So if he gets behind Avila, we're in trouble. So we're gonna play a very defensive game. Sabate again. Oh, he easily finds Cersei. Click clears the ball. Only as far as another Milan player. We're not playing a normal, keeper gets the ball and does wonderful short passing. We are not being ambitious in this game. Just hoping to soak up as much of the pressure from Milan as we can. That's another great ball. Louis Adriano out on wide. Oh, he's getting into. Oh, Padelli makes a good clean save. Pelotti, Maxi. Maxi tries to hold on. Oh, Andrea Poli brings him down. Poli picks up a yellow card. Good work, Maxi. That's Poli's second yellow card. Okay, we're still going to play the same way. We're not going to make many changes, not just yet. Alright, so we're doing well, boys. We're doing very well. Okay, we're going to go to instructions, and now we're going to go wide. We're going to increase the tempo a bit, and we're going to play a bit direct. Okay, so we're playing slightly differently now. They've got a card, so we're going to stretch them out a bit. By playing direct passing now, we're just going to launch balls to our players up front who have been set to run at defense, and we hope that that gives them a lot more headaches. We're going to save everything for later. Now we have picked up 3 cards as well, so okay, so now we go control, and my shot will be stay on feet, prevent shot, goalkeeper distribution. Let's try and put on some more pressure on them. Good defending. Pelotti, if he can play the early pass. No, he does not play the early pass. He's brought down by Mauri. Bruno Perez, Janssen, and Danilo picked up cards. Okay, guys, we have played well. Okay, so if you look at Milan, they still have fullbacks in pushed up positions. One here, one here. So we're gonna go back to counter. We're gonna play more direct passing. When shot gets stuck in. Yep. Maxi, Paselli, Panazzi, Pelotti. Can he? Oh, he misses when he was easier to score. We could have done this in extra time. That was my whole plan. Okay, we're gonna take Benassi off, make substitution. One last substitution. We're gonna take Benassi off and bring on. No, that would be the wrong player. Benassi for this guy. One attacking player. I'm gonna toss into the fray. Pritchett, Belotti versus. Oh, come on, ref. That was a corner. Donnarumma. Well, Milan had to take me to a penalty shootout. They won. I'm not too unhappy because it was gonna be a tough match. We gave it as good as we got, but we should have, done more, having the one-man advantage. Nevertheless, I found that game to be quite interesting because I had to change so many things in one match, something I have not done for a really long time. So we're on to our next game. It's the match between Torino and Roma. We're at home. We've just been knocked out by Milan in the cup. But before I go to this, I just wanted to take a look at certain things that have been reported in the forums. Some people are claiming that it's really difficult to score through the middle. And it's something that I find a bit strange because if you look at the stats, most teams are finding it hard to score through the middle against me. They may have gotten like 4 goals from the flanks. But if you look at the way we scored our goals, most of our goals, assists have been coming from passes and crosses. And if you disregard corners and free kicks, we don't really score very many from those, but we do get we concede like 4 goals. We've conceded 4 goals so far this season. So I would say that the biggest thing about keeping your middle secure and your flank secure is essentially your defensive line. You need to make sure that your players are not always running facing the goal. You know, they're tracking when the ball is played over the top, and if you see your defenders running and their faces are pointing towards goal, you know that the defensive line is too high. And if you find that they have plenty of time to move forward towards the ball, then the defensive line is too deep. So you need to make certain adjustments, and this can only be done by viewing the game. Furthermore, you need to consider your player attributes as well. If the player's attributes are just bad, you know, in terms of concentration, anticipation, acceleration, and pace, and tackling as well, and bravery and teamwork, and if all these attributes they don't link up, then you're not gonna get those balls. You know, you're gonna find balls going between the channels. Now, if for this match that we're playing, I'm just gonna make a couple of changes before we head into the game. I've just played Milan, so my team is really tired. I don't think I can find a lot of players that are fit. Ghazi will have to play in the middle for a change, and I'll have to bring in Priyama because even though I don't really think it's that good, I have to keep the other legs, you know, in some condition. All right, here we go. Okay, we almost look like they're playing the same system, or maybe they're even playing a version that looks like mine. I'll have to be looking out again here. I'll be looking at the fullbacks. I'll be looking at the way my team is lining up against them. Am I too high? Am I too low? So you see Salah easily makes a pass to Zico. And Salah is a dribbling magician in this game. So well, there he couldn't get past my defenders, and that's down to the fact that our defensive line is nicely set up. So I'm happy. Okay, my players are definitely not in 100% peak physical condition. Again, here it's looking for the ball over the top. You see the defensive line could recover very quickly, so we are not playing too high up the pitch. Once again, Salah with the ball, he'll play it out wide to panic. He can't get the cross in, is ably blocked by a player from Torino. Another corner. I'm also looking now to see how my players are going to react. Now, I will have to start working on those set pieces I keep talking about every week. That's 4, and this will be the 5th show, and I haven't started yet. So we are halfway through the season. As you can see, I rarely work on set pieces in the first season. I guess I want to face and I want to focus on my tactic more than anything else. Well, Roma look like they're very comfortable on the ball. 2 minutes in, and I think all possession belongs to Roma. They have a throw in. Let's see what they can do with this. Oh, what a shot. Okay, that's seen enough of the game at the start. I'm gonna go to key highlights now. They haven't really been able to create very many clear-cut chances. My goal here in this game is to once again make it hard for Roma. We've already been knocked out of the cup, so I just don't want to lose this game as well. All right, we're getting pounded by Torino. That's like 10 shots on goal. 32 minutes in. How long am I gonna last? Oh no, Priyama is not injured. We've got players hitting 60% already, and it's 37 minutes in. They've got a corner. Oh yeah. Well, okay. The upright saved us. Here we go. Players are 69% Fabio. The rest are very close to it. So substitutions may just be in order very soon. Priyama is already looking like he's carrying a knock, but he's only 6.7. Quagliera, he's isolated. We'll have to do something about his role. I think he's too high up the pitch and he's not linking out, so I'll make him support. As you can see, the defensive line is still okay, but there could still be a lot of work. No, yes, upright. Okay, lucky. All right, 67%. Andrea Balotelli is at 72, 74, 74, 69. This is not good. We're going to have to make some changes soon. All right, I have to give them shelling first up. We're playing control, mentality, and yet we still can't really get a lot of shots off. We're basically isolated. Our team is really isolated. I'm going to have to do something about this. First up, we'll make a personnel change. I've got to decide. Now, this Ghazi is not a bad player. He's pretty decent. He's half decent. But he's a bit slow. Okay, I will have to start thinking maybe Benazi. No, Benazi. Okay, Benazi's got pace and acceleration. Right now, at this moment in time, I actually need a bit more control. He can tackle as well, so I'll bring on Benazi for Joel Obi. Joel Obi's just been censored. Beep. Okay, so here we go. Second half. Can we actually improve on those shots on goal? At least we're passing the ball now to ourselves. 4 shots on goal, 6 versus the 16. Well, the good thing is that the whole goal was to deny Roma clear shots, so they may have had 2 clear-cut chances, but only 4 on target. Okay, Sanjing Pritchard is not picked up, and not can't have to keep him on. I need to hold on to that third substitution at all costs. I'll wait until like the 60th or 65th minute and make that decision then. Okay, I'm forced into a substitution. Fabio is not injured. Okie dokie. Fabio, you can come off. This is not. This is going to be quite interesting. We're now like on the defensive. We're literally backs against the wall. Players just can't handle it. We'll have to score on the counter and hope we get something out of this game. 74 minutes, 75 minutes in. Okay, what can we do? I need some inspiration. Some inspired moments. See, like that. Come on, you beauty, Belotti. Oh, yes. Steal the game. 3 points. We've taken it. Yes. Now, that happens because he's on hard tackling and because he's on max close down. What a moment. I mean, we have had our backs to the wall, and all we needed was Roma to make a mistake in the back line, and Belotti just blew in. Okay, 9 shots versus 16, so there is a bit of an improvement compared to 4 to 16. They still had 2 clear-cut chances, we've had 1. Alright, time now to look at the formation. Are they doing anything different? Okay, if we're going to sneak this in, a 1-0 win following our defeat to Milan, this is going to be a really good result for us. Yes, it is. That's the end of the match. We've won 1-0. This is too good to be true. Real against the run of play kind of game here. 9 shots versus 17. Would you believe it? This only happens in my games on Football Manager. On today's show, I tried to do something different. We had a Milan match, which I actually enjoyed, even though I lost the game on penalties. The interesting thing for me, though, was how it's so much more easier in this game now to look at defensive lines. Between FM15 and FM16, seriously, you can see the defensive line is like clear as daylight in FM16. On FM15, there was a bit more of, there's a bit more of an element of guessing. But you still had enough visual cues. But the visual cues in FM16 are huge. So there's no way you're going to miss a defensive line change in the game. Most people should be able to spot it. The best way to spot the defensive line, whether you're too high or too low, is essentially just looking at your players and the direction they're facing when they have to go after the ball. If they're facing your own goal because of a ball over the top and they're running towards your own goal to get the ball, then your defensive line is high. The only way you should be playing that is if you have players that can cover the space in the shortest time possible. If you don't have players who can do that job, then you shouldn't be playing a high defensive line. If your players have too much time,
The ball is landing in front of them like 15 to 20 yards, and they have a lot of time to get to the ball. Then the defensive line is too deep. So these are the kind of things that you want to notice when you are playing this game. And you can actually play really good defensive and contain strategies in this game as well. There is no reason you can't come up with a very good contained system. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Busternet. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can drop me a note on Twitter, or you can drop me a note here on the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the video as well, please subscribe. And, let me know what you think, or if there's something else you want me to cover, just let me know. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys again soon. Bye bye.